Well, good afternoon. We're back at the point. It's a bit overcast, and we got a bit of bird action happening out here already. So we got some crows there, but first let's focus on these harlequin ducks. The males there with the color of the brown, and females there that are a bit more plain. Playing in the waves. They've got to be one of my favorite ducks. Okay, I see they're joined with a few sea lions out there. Unfortunately, those don't count as a new species. So yeah, we're back at it. We're looking for at least species number 63 to add to our total list. There's an American crow. Also checking out the tide, let's see, and then two more ducks hanging out there. Looks like they just dove down. I'll give it a second here. Yeah. Still a bit of wind from yesterday, but it's much calmer. Okay. We got our mallards. Doing some little body surfing. Okay, and then I think it's probably buffleheads that keep disappearing right behind them there. There, one just popped up. Oh no, that's another harlequin. Yeah, those are the harlequins. We'll grab these first, and then we'll look over at the gulls and see, do our best. At the mouth there of the creek, it seems like there's the harlequin again. And I'm just wondering, over here there seems to be a group of three. See if I can catch them to keep diving. Oh, a couple more just joined. Ones on the right, are they harlequins as well? Yeah, I think so, yeah. Okay, now these ones on the right here, see if we can get them before they dive down. Oh, no, they dove down again. Just wondering if maybe they're buffleheads. Nope, another pair of harlequin. Okay. Well, I'm gonna watch the shoreline closely here for any shorebirds. You know, sometimes they just look like the ground moving. And why don't we wander over here just a little bit closer to these gulls and see if we can do some gull IDing. Oh, I see Merlin ID thinks it heard a peregrine falcon. Okay, well, we'll keep our eyes open to the sky as well then. Not just the shoreline. Okay, there's one other duck. Maybe it's a loon. Let's see. Oh no, another harlequin. You can lose perspective for size when they're just out there in the ocean by themselves. Okay. Big deep breath and try to see if we can identify some gulls here. Alright, well the ones with the black heads here are pretty easy for this area. Those are Bonaparte's gulls. They're one of the smallest gulls we have here, if not the smallest. The sea lion behind there. We're gonna mostly stick to mature. And just for mature gulls to try to identify, and I'll try to get ones that are, you know, by themselves so there's no confusion which one we're looking at. Mostly these larger ones here are glaucous wing gulls. You see them put away their wingtips there. And the glaucous ID marker is that the wingtips are the same color as the back of them. That nice gray, silvery color. We have one that's just standing out by itself, a gull, and most likely a Canada goose. The Canada goose does have a look-alike called the cackling goose. Very similar, but quite a bit smaller. We've got another mallard there. Okay. So the other common gulls here are the short-billed gull, the ring-billed gull, and California gulls. And there are a number of hybrid western glaucous wing gulls, but we'll leave the hybrid business alone for now. You can see there that Merlin ID says that here's the glaucous wing gull. Is that a mallard head floating down the creek? Yes. Okay, then that's the one gull. So usually I'm just scanning and looking for one that stands out, since most of them are the glaucous wing gulls. You can see this one's a bit smaller. There. So that would be your short-billed gull. Has a dove-like head. Black wingtips. This is your Bonaparte's gull. They're a lot of fun to watch. Looks like we got a second Canada goose. Now when you're doing a gull identification, you want to look at feet color is a big clue, or legs. And obviously the markings on the bill. See the wing tips are the same color. So we're looking at a glaucous wing gull there. Okay. And if this all seems confusing to you, good, because it is for me as well. Gull identification is probably one of the hardest things to do in birding. It looks like we got some mallards back there. And then up on the bank there is another mallard. Yeah, another mallard in the background, and the glaucous winged gull in the foreground. Keep scanning. Sometimes we get Caspian terns here, and they can blend right in. So it's good just to keep scanning around. Sorry about that. Bumped off the main camera there for a sec. We're back rolling. Okay, now when they scatter like this, oftentimes there's an eagle incoming. Yep, there it is. So they spotted it from a mile away. There's a bald eagle, yep. Looks like it's turning around. They thrive in chaos. So it will go back to one of these treetops here, most likely. You can see it's just caused a ruckus. And a lot of times what you'll see is one eagle will come in, stir them all up like this, and then another one will come in and just scanning around behind me right now, just seeing if I can see if that eagle rested in one of these trees. Alright, well now they've been stirred up, let's see if we can identify anything else, see if there's anything else in there. Okay, well, just gonna look at these birds here out in the water to our right. Let's see, are these the harlequins that we were seeing earlier? Yeah. Just gonna double check, make sure nothing else is there with them, so we're not missing any species. No. All right. Just gonna pan out for a sec here and just you can see it's an overcast day. It actually makes good for good photography and videography. The cameras seem to love the flat light. At least that's what I think. I don't think the birds care much. And feel free to comment. Feel free to make an identification if you can. I need all the help I can get when I'm out here. What I usually do is especially with these more difficult birds like gulls and shorebirds, is I review my footage afterwards on my computer with a field guide, and then do the identifying that I can, that I'm not able to out here while I'm doing it live. Oh, look. We've got some oyster catchers just arrived. Black oyster catchers. So I think we hit the tides right. Oh. These are your Bonapartes. You can see how small they are. Okay, well, let's get some shots of these oyster catchers while they're here. I think low tide's in about an hour, so it should be still going out just a bit, exposing more shoreline. And these are your black oyster catchers. That one's got its back turned to us. Yeah. Oh. Okay, look, all the birds are taking off again. I'm scanning the skies right now for an eagle. There must be one nearby. Oh, yeah, there's two of them out here. They came from the other side. There you go, you can see the white head of the bald eagle for a second there. Come on, camera, focus. Looks like this one's moving a bit closer here. Playing the focus game. Well, I see that we're having a my phone that I monitor the feed is going off. We're doing a BC emergency alert testing. Didn't they know I was live streaming right now? Oh, there we go. There. And the eagle's waiting. And the crow is not happy about it. Yeah, so as I was saying, wow. And did that ever clear off this beach? Here, I'll give you an idea. So you've got the eagle there. And all of the birds at this point are gone now. I saw there were 2 out there over the ocean, and that cleared them all out. But it won't be long, there'll be a few back. There's definitely some at at this point here. Couple more mallards just cruising along. Well, some of them are cruising along. Yeah, and that just shows you, that's why I got those, you know, couple shots of the oyster catchers. In birding, you just never know. They might be there all day, or they might be only there for a second. Bunch of crows there. Okay, is that a smaller duck in there with the mallards? Yeah. There. There's an American widgeon. Well, right in the middle of the screen, just behind the one mallard. See if it will give us a cleaner look here. Alright, we'll scan out under the water and keep an eye out for any passerbys or those eagles sure cleared things out though. Yeah, 2 more mallards there. Yeah, and there's the widgeon. I'm just keeping a close full watch on the, oh, see, that's what I was just gonna say. I saw some sandpipers, it looked like. There was little, appeared white shorebirds that were flocked there for a second. And I don't know if they went out across the water and are headed over to the islets there. Okay. Some peeps. That would be good. That would be a new species. It looked like there were about 6 of them, and I just saw them flying kind of erratically. And I don't know if they touched down right behind here. Just over that little bit of a knoll. And just the light a little bit. Okay, well, since there's no, looks like there's a bit of activity happening out there. I was going to say, since there's no birds currently at this point here, I'll wander out there a little bit more, because there's nothing really for me to scare off. Let's see if we can see if those peeps landed down there. Pretty sure that's what that was. Get a real good close look at this Canada goose here. And we'll just reference it, double check that it's not a cackling goose. When we get home with a field guide, or if any experts are on right now. Looks like the Bonapartes are coming back. We'll look closely for any little peeps among them. I think the coast is clear now with Mr. Eagle. one larger gull flying overhead that we can. Oh, okay, so now the oyster catchers. Oh, then they're off again. I don't see anything to my left. I noticed that the oyster catchers are back, so they're feeling safe again. Looks like we got the two harlequins. Male and female. Female up front. You hear the call of the oyster catcher. That's a large flock of harlequin ducks. Very cool. Several males together there. You see this one? Black oyster catchers, a little lighter in color. Almost got a little bit of a brown tinge, especially compared to that crow. There's your crow. Yes. The point is just cleared right out. Okay, well, let's take a look at these gulls that we got here. There's your glaucous wing gull in the middle there. We'll leave the juveniles unidentified for now. Save the embarrassment. We'll make enough mistakes as it is. Looks like we got a few more Bonapartes. On the move. The behavior I haven't really seen them playing in the waves. Again, I think these are just more harlequin. Well, not just, but because we've seen them so many times already. These are more harlequin ducks. Male and female mallard. Okay, well, let's see. What about this gull? Yeah, you can see the wingtips there. They're the same glaucous color. So that's your glaucous wing gull. That's the widgeon that's going right behind it. The American widgeon. Oops. More glaucous wing gulls. There's your mallards. And obviously this point changes hour by hour with the bird activity, and definitely season by season. we'll most likely be out here hunting for when we're getting closer to species 100 in the winter time, as we'll get actually quite a bit more birds in the winter here. Now I am limited to where I can go at this point, just due again to the cell phone coverage, having a strong enough signal to be able to live stream. But when the tide's out, which actually works out well with the birds, usually, the signal's quite strong. Okay, well, we've got a couple more gulls joining these guys. Let's see if we can maybe ID a new one. Okay, so these clearly have the black wingtips. I think we're looking at leg color. That one's probably a California gull with a bit of the red on the bill. And maybe this one right in the middle of the screen right now could be a ring-billed gull. Again, chime in if you know your gulls. Because, you know, I usually do refresher whenever I come out here. I think I've got it down. And then you see them all and you get confused. It's like, okay, pink legs, which one was that again? Yellow legs, dark eyes. I'm just gonna pan over here. I see a cormorant, I think, flying by. Not sure if we were able to be able to identify it with that shot or not. It's the harlequins that are all out here at this point, sharing it with the oyster catchers. More harlequins. A diving duck. I was hoping to see maybe some Pacific loons out here. All right. Well, I'm gonna just wander a little closer to the shore here. If it does start buffering, I'll make my way back and find that cell signal, but we're on edge here. See what this vantage point gives us. Looks like your short-billed gull. That could be possibly your ring-billed gull there. And then maybe your California gull beside it again. Okay, they all took off. See possibly some cormorants way out there. Got a glimpse of it. And this one gull. There. Yeah, I'd say that's your the one behind is the short-billed gull. That one. Pink legs. Okay, maybe we found a loon here. Hey. Let's see. Yeah, those look a bit of, about a shorter bill, which would be on the Pacific loon. Yeah, I'm gonna wander down that way and see if we can get a bit tighter shot. Should be okay to. Okay. Let's see what this 1200 mil equivalent lens can do for us. Come on, give us a nice profile. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a huge bill. I'm probably going to have to zoom in on this with my computer afterwards to get a proper ID. Before I confirm this is species 63. But I want to be a bit optimistic about it. I'm just going to pan over here and see what's flying across the water. Hard to say, could be our harlequin ducks. We'll see. Of course, the loons decide to try to make even more distance on us here. Right. Well, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic that those are Pacific loons. Maybe I'm just being hopeful. You can feel a bit of moisture in the air. They've put on some more distance, so we'll have to rely on the shots that we got. So this guy's got a snack. Okay, I'm going to wander back to these gulls. We'll do one last pass on these gulls that are here in the creek. And then it'll be probably time to end the stream. And I think tomorrow morning we'll be back in the marsh. There's a lot of warblers now. There's a bunch that are on our target list. So I'm feeling pretty confident we could probably get a new species. And I just love shooting the warblers, finding them and seeing all the different variations that we get. Okay, let's see what we can Let's just do a quick little. That's your short-billed gull. Probably more short-billed gulls. Hard to say with the juveniles. There's your glaucous wing gull in the middle there. All right, well, it was a bit of a slow day out here again, but that won't last forever. With this weather moving in a bit, it might bring in some new birds. Okay, well, if you tuned in today, I really appreciate it. I appreciate the support. It's neat to see that there's some people watching. And, you know, it seems we get a few more every live stream. So I hope you're having as much fun as I am. It keeps me going. And it's a lot of fun to share, so I appreciate it. Tomorrow morning we'll be at the Marsh. Unless plans change, but that's the plan for now. We're going to be starting a little earlier. Probably, you know, every week we'll probably start a little bit earlier, just as we're getting more light in the mornings. And the birds seem to get a little bit more active, and it's a good quiet time to film there. Okay, well, thanks again. Enjoy your day. Hopefully you can get out birding as well.